Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's Tuesday, August 27th. I say welcome back because I know this ain't your first time. And it's so good to see you again. How wonderful. I wore my special blue shirt. My rouge-colored cheek that, of course, makes me so angry at that dermatologist who said when I was 14, don't worry. By the time you're 18, you will never have acne ever again. Age 27. Cheers. Wonderful. It's okay, you know, I'm very giving and charitable, and Rudolph, it was his nose. For me, it's my left cheek. Who'd have thought? I don't know. Potato, potato. In today's daily, we're going to be looking at Naniwa's Protoss versus Terran against Innovation, and we're gonna break it down. It's very wonderful to watch these games because Naniwa just not only does he get it, but his builds are clear. It's very clear to elucidate upon what he's doing. So we're going to see two builds. We're going to watch first one where innovation plays a little more macro focused, and the second one where innovation plays a little more gas focused. And we're going to see how Naniwa opens with this same structure, sees what's up, and then can sort of wiggle down another path. And of course, these games are taken from the WCS Grand Final where Naniwa eliminated Innovation 2-0. And big shout out to ESL. I'm wearing your shirt because not only is it awesome, but you're awesome too, and I want to wear your awesomeness on my body. Tried to wink and I just closed both eyes. That's fine, it's not a big deal. You just look a little bit like you're exhausted and trying to fake it, like you would in math class. Sean, have you been paying attention? 10. It's got to be the answer. We're like talking about derivatives and shit, and I'm like, 10. The derivative of the natural log of x is always 10. Not a constant, 10, which happens to be a constant. Tomorrow will be SC2L, Root versus Axiom. No daily Thursday. Cannot make it. I'm so sorry I'm stuck in traffic then. And then Friday will be subscriber games. And then next Monday is Mega Mono Battles. Cool, got those out of the way. Let's talk about the Protoss vs. Terran matchup, shall we? Let's do it without any precursor. Let's get into the MFing game. We have Innovation, who's wearing a wonderful barcode Gucci dress down on the bottom left, and in the bottom right we have Naniwa and barcode Prada. Both these players very high class. Only shop at the most exquisite of brand names. Now, of course, I'm a fan of Hermes, only because I found out what Hermes was like 2 weeks ago, and I think that's the funniest name ever. So we are going to watch Barcode versus Barcode, but I just swear to God that this is Naniwa, and just fucking listen to it. I swear to God that this is Innovation. Why would I lie to you? I would lie. I would lie for the viewers. Oh my God. Before we get into that, let's compellingly listen to me tweet that we're actually live with the show. So traditionally, what the Protoss player winds up doing is tries to get up an early expansion with while spending as little resources as possible. Maybe starting the Zealot, but not letting it finish, seeing if there's an engineering bay that's going to be down and maybe canceling. Trying not to get a lot of gateways up early, but trying to get more of tech-focused things early. The Mothership Core helps, but it's not the main core defense that we're going to see Naniwa bust out. It's going to be very Stalker Observer heavy. We are live with Naniwa versus Innovation Analysis. And did I misspell anything? Hell no! Who needs F7 when you can be day 9? Oh, a little word processor humor. I love it. So first and foremost, we're going to watch the opening from Naniwa real up close. I'm actually going to disable the team colors, so that way we can see blue and blue and blue and blue. Nice coordination of bleu. So what we're going to see in this game is the same structure that we're going to see in the following game. Oh, for God's sake. Oh my God, display experience points. Yeah, I want to keep that in there. That's actually pretty important. I think that this is pretty critical. I think this is a fairly essential solution. Uh, I am really torn on building pylons touching the Nexus. I don't do it because if you get a worker stuck like right there, it feels worse than stubbing your toe. It feels awful. It's the only time I'll ever bleep the F word. Seriously. It feels horrible to have a probe stuck. But, of course, that's not really the focus of today's daily. Yeah, Makepeace 13 talks about it. He's typing in all caps. I hate it. I hate it. I get it. I get it. 13 gateway, 15 assimilator. Not going to go for the 14 assimilator, even though the money is there, because we just don't need the gas. And I'd actually like to... I'm just going to note something that a lot of people do. I didn't rewind far enough. That a lot of people do, but not a lot of people talk about anymore. The probes that build all the early structures are the rallied probes. So see, we're going to see, here's the rally point to build the 13. Boink. Then let's look at this rally point. It's going to be rallied right here. Son of a bitch, he didn't do it this game. Son of a bitch. But listen to me, he can do that. And he actually is getting it on 14. This is horrible right now. I will note, you don't need to get it on 14. If you get it on 15, we're actually going to see about 36 extra gas. I say about. Either way, with the next set of units, see, look, we're going to see the rally out for the pylon, rally out for the pylon, and there it is. And we can even see a rally out for a cybernetics core. That's fine. I'm thrilled to be wrong on 14 versus 15 gas. I would not be so thrilled if it was something like, we're going to see Naniwa early expand, and then he all-ins. But once again, we'll note, we'll see the rallies into the gas. Get 3 in there. And then watch this rally. Watch this rally. Yeah, and there it is. It's very easy to just rally on there. Now, Naniwa built his gas on 14. But if you wanted to build it on 15, you would just rally there. Bam! Now let's talk about some timings, shall we? We're going to do this in 2 phases. First and foremost, we are going to be watching the opening up to like 9-10 minutes. Then what we're going to do is we're going to rewatch the opening. We're going to see when those chrono boosts go down, because I think that that is the hidden secret to a lot of top Protoss players' success, is that they know when the F to chrono boost. Huh. So let's get rid of this. Let's leave that production tab open. So this is a very typical play. We see the Zealot getting produced. There's actually no need to scout at all. We just move this probe out to our expansion, and this will be sufficient. So the instant we have this Zealot building, we just rally a probe down. And indeed, it's a little teensy bit early. But then we cancel the Zealot when we see nothing. So right when we have 300 resources, we Nexus it up. We are seeing the exact reason why I don't like 14 assimilator and I prefer 15 assimilator. See where it says 144 gas? This would read a little closer to 100, and that would read a little closer to 100. And then you can make a mothership core right away. Regardless, mothership core comes out right away. Why the chrono boost on the mothership core? I mean, that's an easy thing to just look at right now. Why the chrono boost? Because the Reaper is almost here. On many maps, you just need the Nexus or the mothership core out right away, especially if he's trying to do some sort of proxy Reaper BS. There are maps where there are proxy-ish locations where it will get to your base right around now. So let's go back to Barcode's point of view. Instantly get that mothership core out, gas right away. Now this is actually a pretty important gas geyser, because this will permit us to get all the defense up that we need while still getting up a reasonably quick robo bay. Notice all the units up here. Or should I say, notice how there's no freaking units up there. There's the mothership core, and that's it. Further notice, this pylon to get us unsupply blocked, and this gas before the warp gate research. I think that the warp gate research is probably the least valuable thing for a Protoss player to get early in this matchup. It should be deprioritized. Most people are just like, it's done. Gee, but if you don't research it right away, then you're a scrub. Get out of my lane. Like, that's pretty common, but I want to just sort of remove that from your mind. It's totally okay to delay that. This used to be a critical upgrade to get because most pushes were defended with the warp gate research, but now most early pushes are defended with our mothership core. And what do you know? We actually have a stalker produced before warp gate research. Seems a little nuts, but absolutely correct. I will not say it's good, I will say it is correct, because we want to keep our probe production. We got to get these stalkers up to be able to defend ourselves against various crud, and we just don't need this. We need all the other things. Notice this mothership core is not over-eagerly wandering down here. It'll poke, but it will conservatively pull back until the stalker's about to pop. So we see this robo going down at 5 minutes. Damn, that's early. And yet it is great. It is great. It is so good. It is so good. But what do you know? Here is the moment where I can justify a comment I made earlier. Remember this early gas? I said we're getting the gas before we get warp gate, before we get a stalker, after we get this pylon. Wow, isn't that too early? Well, no, look at right now. Look at how low all these resources are. We were able to get the robo and the warp gate, or excuse me, and the stalker and the warp gate out just fine. Now that the stalker's up, we are permitted to scout with the mothership core, but you don't have to do this. You do not need to scout with this mothership core. A lot of Protosses are addicted to that shit, but you don't need to go for it, man. It's like tater totters in elementary school. You don't need to bring that pocket full of your friend's tater totters to class and eat them because it's delicious. It's bad for you, man. This analogy doesn't work because everyone will be disagreeing with me. But seriously, the mothership core can die, and if you eat too many tater totters, you could die too. From tater totteritis. I'm doing a good job. I think I'm doing a good job. I'm doing great. We're nailing this. We're nailing it. Have no fear. So coming up is a potential spot for divergence, but it will not necessarily occur with this mothership core's scouting information. The divergence point will happen later. And when I say divergence point, I mean we get some information about what's going on in here, and we change our plan. You don't need to scout super early if your plan will literally not change. But here we see one stalker, still very pulled back. This pylon placed so we can warp in to defend our expansion, very common. Couple of mariners, not really going to let us get up in there. We have effectively zero information right now.
Defense systems
but right around the 6-minute mark, Forge goes down. F yeah. Now I want you to note that we're getting the stalker. In rapid succession, we're getting an observer out. Literally stalker, 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 non-stop production out of this. Remember how I said you didn't need a scout with this mothership core? Yeah, we didn't get any damn information at all. So we're getting an observer. Here's where things are really going to begin kicking into gear. Naniwa will slowly advance down his ramp. No extra gateways being planted. Not at all. And I will broadly say a kind of important claim as we pause here at the 7-minute mark. I think it's reasonable to see the Forge, reasonable to see more observers, reasonable to see the expansion up. The one thing that we see that seems a little unreasonable is the fact that there's one gateway. Broadly speaking, the biggest error that many Protoss players will make is getting their first set of gateways. Am I going to say that properly? It's their first set. I want to make this catchy. I could say it in a way that's not catchy, but better fucking be catchy. Fuck, how do I get that? God, I want to be catchy. God, I want this to be so good that it can get on a t-shirt, but it's not going to happen. The first few gateways, many players get those too soon. The next round of gateways, people get too late. And the final round of gateways, people get too soon. I'm trying to think of a more catchy way to say that. But let me give some reasons behind that. First round of gateways, up to 3 total. When do you need those? Not soon at all. You got a mothership core. Watch the minimap, fool. Save yourself some cash. Bam! Next round of gateways, we really need those. Because that is when he has medevacs for the first time. We don't have a lot of units. We have to be able to warp in all around. And then, after we've held off the medevac production, this is where most players get a little overeager, and they're like, I can defend the world! I have Colossus Blink! And then they fucking die, because they're building all these gateways, and a push comes in and they have no units. We'll talk about this a lot as it goes on, but here's the first instance where people tend to build the gateways too early. Don't do that! Naniwa doesn't do that. Look at the beautiful placement of these stalkers. Gets out of position, no big deal. The mothership core was never too far away from the main anyways. Get out of town. Get out of Texas. A single photon cannon, not an extraordinary investment. This is essentially saying, oh my god, I don't know what my enemy is doing. He could be going for mine drops. I better get that up. And I know observers can deal with mine drops, but if your opponent's going really drop heavy, this can be of supreme concern. However, I missed the scout timing, so we have to rewind to that. I have no idea what could possibly be going on. Oh my gosh. Hey, I know now. There's the factory. Oh, well, if he's not going to go mine drop, then you know what? I'm going to go for a Twilight Council. This is where the divergence point happens, is around 7:30. Basically around when you get the observer the hell out there. It's reasonable to cancel this if you're a super hyper badass, but it's fine to let it finish too. Just one. Not a tremendous amount. So this first round of gateways. Normally people get these too early. It's okay to delay that first set. However, I will know, when do medevacs pop out? If you've watched some of my other dailies, 10 minutes is when medevacs pop out. That's really the money time. We will round a little bit. But when does the Twilight Council go down? Right when we see what the hell's going on. We see a macro-focused player. This late factory indicates to us that he's probably going barracks-focused aggression, probably 3 barracks. But broadly speaking, he's going to be going for a lot of Marine Marauder and late medevacs. That's what it tells us. So great, we throw down the Twilight Council when we see it. And then as we have the money to do it, we get these gateways. But the 10-minute mark is right around the corner, and this is where people tend to get it too late. We're going to see a real explosion of things. Speed coming out. Templar Archives coming out. Observer coming out. I want you to sort of frame this in your mind. All these key buildings... Actually, I'll remove that. Get out of here, get out of... These key buildings, Robo, Forge, and Twilight Council, came before these gateways were thrown down. And now we have our Templar Archive thrown down before additional gateways. And suddenly, kablow, kablow, kabam, kablooey. 7 gateways in total. I will emphasize this yet again because I love emphasizing things with emphasis. Our first round of gateways happened quite late, at 8 minutes. People tend to get these too early. And then similarly, people tend to get the next round of gateways way too late. Look at how fast these happen. 8 minutes were when these got started. 9 minutes were when this round got started. A hell of a lot. A hell of a lot. And then we're starting to see, you know, the +2 armor go down, observers getting sniped. How annoying. We've actually constructed a grand total of 5 observers. Here's 1, here's 2. We've lost 1 here, we've lost a second one here. And here's observer number 5 coming out. Don't be afraid to build way more observers than seems reasonable if you're doing this Zealot Templar Archives heavy style. That's great. Now, 9:30 is where we'll end up stopping the analysis of part 1 of the build order. But that doesn't mean I can't go back through. Because the chronoboosts are the hidden secret thing that seem to ramp many players to success, that many weaker TOS will way overanalyze. It actually winds up being pretty simple. Starting the game off, 100% of our chrono boosts go to the probes. Rather than tell you exact chrono boost timing after exact chrono boost timing, I'll just tell you, chrono those frickin' probes aggressively. Now, your mothership core will also get chronoed. And then beyond that, what happens? Broadly speaking, you chrono boost probes until you have 16 mining minerals at each base. There's a chrono boost on this nexus. What do you know? Speeding things up. There's one exception in here. So we see, oh, there is these 2 locations.
Defense systems
I feel an exception coming on. The big exception is until the robo's done. You chrono boost like crazy. And then you save because you want to be able to chrono boost this observer. And there it is. And after the observer chrono boosting, what do you know, Joe? Mass chrono boosting on the probes yet again. And another observer will be made. But where does the chrono boost go? Where does it go? I have an idea. Well, Naniwa's a little distracted because he's trying to pick off this freaking thing. But by and large, it's going to continue to go down on the probes. See how we have 15 of 24 here? We're about to put these 3 in this geyser and these 3 in that geyser. So we can get away with another chrono boost on those. What do you say? There's another chrono boost on the probes. There's another chrono boost on the probes. Oh my god. Playing Protoss is so easy. Oh my god. It's not even the 1A race. It's the 3C race for chrono boost. Oh, look at that. More chrono boost going down the probe. Oh god, this is difficult. Nah, I can't find a reason for it to be difficult. No, this game is so easy. Okay, looks like we're saturated. Well, Jesus, let's just chrono boost the forge. This is really the primary target from here on out, is the forge. Just chrono the damn forge. Chrono the forge. Chrono the forge. Chrono your forge. Raise your forgers. Your dongers? Raise your forge dongers. Just chrono your damn forge, alright? Look, more observers being built, no chrono boost being spent. Hey, look at that. That's an early charge. Chrono boost the damn forge. What are you, fucking crazy, man? Chrono boost the forge. What are you, nuts? Okay, yeah, you know what? Chrono boosting Twilight Council every now and again is fine. Broadly speaking, especially when you get 3 Nexi, you will have too much energy to constantly chrono boost just the forge. So you can throw down 1 on another critical building every now and again. But I discourage you from over chrono boosting to where this forge falls quite a ways behind. You like that? You like that setup? Can I chrono boost something else, day 9? Okay, yeah, sure, but don't you get out of line. Don't you get out of line. I mean, he has enough to do it then. But if he had enough for 1, that better be going down on the forge. Alright, I'm going to pull back to the 9:30 mark. And what do you know, Joe? We know how to chrono boost. When we come back, we'll see the playoff of the rest of this game. To review what we've learned, we've seen a lot of the exact timings of this build and why they're gorgeous. We've seen this point of divergence when he arrived at the base with the observer and went down this Twilight Council forge path. And now we've gotten also a look at the exact chrono boost timing. When we come back, we'll see, wow, we have 7 gateways with speed and Templar. What do we do with it? Coming back after a break. Be back in 2 to 3 short minutes.